We live in a polarizing world, a world that doesn't ask who you are, only which box you belong to. Left wing or right wing? Progressive or conservative? Feminist or anti-feminist? The left preaches equality, the right warns of overcorrection. But somewhere between the shouting matches, we forget that not everything fits neatly into a side. Now, I'm not talking about any particular feminist philosopher, or some academic theory hidden in a university textbook. I'm talking about feminism as most people understand it, as an evolving cultural wave that has shaped how men and women see themselves. Before we even go down the road of how feminism might actually liberate men, we need to acknowledge something that people skip over: social dynamics are not the same everywhere. Far from it, actually. In many parts of the world, feminism isn't an ideology, it's survival. A little dose of it can mean the difference between a girl going to school or staying home, between choosing her partner or being assigned one, between making her own living or asking permission to exist. But then there are societies where maybe, just maybe, we could do better to tone down certain aspects. Because equality shouldn't mean revenge. Laws should treat individuals as individuals, not as tokens of a group or descendants of a historical aggressor. It's not black and white. Most of the world lives in the gray zone, where feminism still has vital work to do in some places, and in others, maybe needs a bit of pruning. Not cancellation. Not worship. Just balance. And in our contemporary world, I've seen debates that never seem to end. Should women serve on the front lines? Should women prioritize marriage over a career? And my personal favorite, men mocking the idea of a strong, independent woman. That always makes me think, do we, as men, really want to remain the disposable resource of society? The ones who fight, die, and pay the bills? Because if we're honest, wouldn't you rather have a strong person by your side than someone who folds when life gets difficult? A weak partner doesn't make your life easier, they make hard situations harder. They're the first to look for the exit the moment the ship hits an iceberg. And then people act surprised when marriages fall apart as soon as a man's finances or social status slip. A trophy spouse, or a damsel in distress, sounds poetic in theory, but in practice, they're just liabilities dressed as fantasies. Isn't it wonderful that men are no longer expected by default to die in wars, to be the only breadwinners, to suppress our emotions in the name of stoicism? Wouldn't it be a relief to live in a world where you're not expected to earn 3 to 5 times more just to be considered marriage material? The expectation is the enemy. I'd love to see the day when a stay-at-home husband lives with a millionaire wife, and no one blinks. No one judges. Because maybe some of us are just exhausted from being the muscle and the ATM. Now, I know feminism doesn't directly advocate the perks I just mentioned. But whether as resistance or as a byproduct of its own philosophy, it's forcing us to re-examine the social contract, the one that silently dictates who provides, who protects, who sacrifices. Through equal representation of women in power, men have started questioning representation in hard labor too: construction, bricklaying, oil rigs. Through smaller debates like who pays the bill, or subtle ones like why open the door, men are slowly realizing, we don't have to be defined as the gender of muscle and money. And through the larger conversation around toxic masculinity, we're learning that emotions aren't weakness. Fear, anxiety, softness, they don't make you less of a man, they make you human. That, right there, is freedom. Freedom from breadwinning. Freedom from unrealistic expectations. Freedom from forced stoicism. And if you think about it, that's the most beautiful byproduct of feminism. It didn't just give women freedom. It gave men permission. Permission to rest. To feel. To not perform strength every second of the day. Maybe feminism isn't about power after all. Maybe it's about peace. Not her victory. Not his defeat. Just both of them, finally breathing the same air. If this video made you think, Don't forget to like, comment, and share it with someone who believes conversations should have nuance, not noise. And if you want more unapologetically honest takes on society and culture, subscribe.